Doug Gottlieb, Fox Sports Radio after our show, the Duggar. All right, let's start. First of all, I'm so over the belly aching. Clay Matthews comes. The Manning family is American football royalty. I could make an argument the Matthews family on the defensive side, Bruce Matthews, Clay Matthews, is American football royalty on the defensive side. I'm like, Clay, you're a smart guy from a smart football family. You get this thing, right? If Patrick Mahomes is hurt last night, Chad Henne's in, and I'm turning the television off. The ratings are up across the board, and I'm all for throwing flags on marginal hits on quarterbacks.
The NFL has figured it out. They've paid attention to the NBA, and they said, wait, how has the NBA recaptured our attention? And the answer is offense, right? Offense. And if you look across the board, not only is Pat Mahomes setting the world on fire, but if you go through the stats, like, wow, Baker Mayfield and all these touchdowns early on. Flacco, like Joe Flacco. There are over 10 quarterbacks right now with a 100-plus passer rating.
Wow.
24 with a passer rating above 90, okay, with a 90. There are not 24 good quarterbacks. The difference is the league has figured it out. Just like the NBA, we're not calling moving screens. You can't hand check.
That's a good point.
You know, valuing the three-point shot. The NFL has done everything in their power to empower quarterbacks. And you told me this before the season started. Bet the overs on all these games.
Right.
Because the league wants offense. There's more possessions, there's more passes, there's less contact on the wide receivers, and there's less contact on the quarterbacks, and there's better offensive coaching, more ingenious offensive coaching. All of that has given us stats on steroids. So it's not that Pat Mahomes isn't great, but you just can't compare eras.
Yeah.
You can't. And as of now in the NFL, offense wins, and this is part of what makes the NFL popular. It was fantasy football as well as betting on football.
Yeah, and this should be noted. And the minute the Supreme Court said, okay, betting is legal, the NFL has not embraced it yet. They won't let Fox, CBS, ESPN, they won't let you sell the big advertisements during their games. But the point is, I've had two buddies of mine in the last 2 weeks go, hey, what website do you go to bet games? These are guys with kids. They're busy. The bottom line is gambling. The NFL's like, you gamble on points. You gamble on stars.
Well, I don't actually think it's as much game. I think the fantasy aspect of it. If you go to a kid's fall baseball game, flag football game, to a soccer game, not just the parents and the moms and the dads, but the kids all play fantasy football. Everyone plays fantasy football. And what it does is it makes you more interested. It makes you watch more.
Yeah.
It also makes you watch teams out of your market more. So the NFL has figured it out. It's not that these quarterbacks aren't great and they grow up playing passing league and they run spread. And so they're a little bit more developed in terms of the quick, pick and stick throws out of college. But what's changed in the NFL almost overnight is they've made it so that you have to have an offense and then figure it out defensively. I think it'll even out once you get to the playoffs. They'll stop calling a lot of the defensive holds and the pass interferences and some of the contact on quarterbacks. But that's the story at the quarter pole in the NFL.
By the way, the thing about Patrick Mahomes is, like you said, you can't really take numbers on anybody. You just can't. But I do trust my eyes. And there are players that I see, and I'm like, Khalil Mack, he can bull rush 332-pound tackles over, and he weighs 260, 250. There are times where you just go, Doug, okay, that guy's different. I mean, he looks like Jason Kidd when he came into the NBA. You're like, he's faster than everybody.
Well, it's the perfect storm. Okay, perfect storm. He played for an offensive genius in college at Texas Tech, and he got to play and throw a lot because their defense was awful. So he'd throw it 60, 70 times a game. Then he comes in the NFL, and, remember, Matt Nagy was doing a great job in Chicago, and Mitchell Trubisky's an average talent at best. Okay, that was who he was learning from last year, as well as Andy Reid and the rest of his staff, and studying under Alex Smith. So he got to refine his footwork. And then they overspent on Sammy Watkins. They have Travis Kelce. They have an outstanding running game. And all of these things kind of combined after a year of learning under Alex Smith, who would not take the risk. And Alex Smith actually threw the ball downfield more than anybody else in the NFL last year. Like, he pushed Alex Smith to performing above his normal level. all of that. Now he gets a chance to start. Now he gets a chance to play with an outstanding wide receiver group with expert play calling, and you're seeing the makings of the next superstar in the NFL. Remember, Baker Mayfield, there were a lot of reasons he left Texas Tech, but the biggest reason was that guy was coming in. Davis Webb's an NFL quarterback. The reason he left and went to Cal was that guy. There's a lot of really talented quarterbacks playing in the National Football League, and then there's guys with just otherworldly talent.
Yeah.
That's what Pat Mahomes has.
By the way, I said this before you came out here. I said, if you want to test the Steelers' patience, they are patient. Cleveland's had 3 coaches in 4 years. They've had 3 since 1969, and Cowher and Tomlin both faced a lot of intense media pressure when they struggled. And it's like the Steelers are sitting there and like, we'll play the long game with you. It's not like the division's running away from us. We still got Cleveland, Cincinnati. I mean, I look at Le'Veon Bell and I'm like, dude, I got suspensions with you. I got busted for smoking pot driving to a game. I'm kind of on the Steelers side on this.
Well, we've reached this weird place in NFL fandom. It's one thing for fans to take the player's side. Yeah. I actually understand that.
Yeah.
But it's media types taking the player's side, which is new. They're not playing neutral anymore. They're and we're kind of anti-establishment, right? We're anti-Congress, anti-president, anti-NCAA,
anti-NFL,
anti-NFL commissioner,
anti-power.
Right, anti-power. I don't know whether it's how our parents treated us or how teachers treated us, right? But now when you get a call from the school that your kid screws up, you think parents will pick up the phone and call the principal on the teacher, right? Whereas in the past, when little Johnny came home with a bad report, it was on little Johnny to fix it.
Right.
And so look at Le'Veon Bell. The Steelers didn't say we don't want Le'Veon Bell. They said, here's what we think you're worth. If not, sign the franchise tender. And he hasn't shown up for work. It's no different than the Earl Thomas thing. NFL teams for years used to write contracts that they wouldn't fulfill. And then they would cut a player when the non-guaranteed part of their contract and force them to renegotiate at a lower rate.
Right.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Earl Thomas is making $10 million a year, and he's getting every penny now that he's hurt. Hey, Le'Veon Bell, he's hurting the Steelers as much as he's hurting himself. He's set to make $14.5 million and then become a free agent next year. He was going to be a free agent because third year of the franchise tender, it's a ridiculous amount. So he's only hurting himself as well as hurting the team, and this is money he'll never make back. So, yes, I agree with you, but this isn't any different than the Raiders and Khalil Mack. Everyone has a value. There is a structure there. And when GMs and front office people save money, it's not like they put the money in their pocket. They have to sprinkle it around, and the teams that have had the longest sustained success, like the Patriots, have found ways to get their top players to take less. And if you have a quarterback making top-end money, you're not going to have a defensive player or running back making top-end money. They got Antonio Brown making more money than anybody else. They got Ben Roethlisberger making any more money. They just don't have room for a long-term salary for a 26, 27-year-old running back.
I want to shift at the top of the hour of the new herd hierarchy, Albert Breer. I want to spend a couple of minutes on the NBA. LeBron's had 4 instances in like a week where he looks at the LA media, and I think they're confused. LA's always been special in the NBA, and LeBron's like, no, I'm saving you. You're not special, I'm special. And the LA media's in this weird vibe where they're like challenging LeBron, and LeBron's like, I've watched you the last 5 years. You won 31% of your games. Have you noticed this weird LA media LeBron vibe? He opens up at home tonight.
Yes.
It is an odd. Well, what am I seeing here?
Well, I think there's an assumption, and maybe LeBron made the wrong assumption, that you come to L.A. and the local media guy that asks the lame question would somehow go away. Right? Like, it's Los Angeles. Like, everybody's like, no. Like, this is the same percentage of people. You have some super talented people in Cleveland that cover the media, and then you have some guys that just got the job.
Right.
We have the same thing. There may be more people, and I also think we have too much access to LeBron James and the superstars now. Social media that cuts away the need for media, and so you have people that ask questions like the one last week. How do you prove your loyalty? Like, I signed a 4-year contract. I never signed a 4-year contract in Cleveland, right? Like, how do I prove my loyalty? I show up to work every day.
But the Kobe people, Magic's revered. Laker fans are funny. Shaq is beloved. Kareem, Wilt, Jerry West loved, but now works for the Clippers.
The Shaq thing is weird, though. Shaq went and played for the Celtics. Like, how are you still? I don't know. I don't know how he has a statue up. When he went and finished his career with the Celtics, you can't do that.
Will LeBron ever beat Kobe in town?
I don't know. We'll see how many championships he wins.
Well, he's not going to win 5.
Probably not, but Kobe doesn't really get credit for the 5. Kobe wants credit for all 5, but Shaq was a huge part of the first 3.
Do you think LeBron will ever be, obviously...
Yes, he wins a championship. We forget about it. Yes. Kobe asked for a trade. He wanted out. Kobe had the issues in Colorado. He asked for a trade, went on the radio, told Rick Bucher, I want out. They decided, the Chicago Bulls decided they want to hold on to Luol Deng instead of trading for Kobe Bryant. He stays, he wins a couple championships, and it's like, what is that memory thing in Men in Black? It was like we all took that, right? And all of a sudden we completely forgot.
We didn't all take that, but Kobe fans did. You're talking to Kobe fans right now. Like the rest
Kobe
of us
fans are Kobe fans are struggling with this LeBron thing.
That's where I think all this is coming from.
I honestly don't believe I think most Laker fans are so happy LeBron's here. We're like, man, we got hope. This is our biggest problem in the media is we pay attention to 1 or 2 idiots on Twitter or 1 or 2 idiots that deface a mural, and we act like that's the majority of the people. That's 1 or 2 idiots. Okay, you go to Staples tonight, and it is a renaissance. People are so happy. You live in Manhattan Beach, right? You walk down the street, everybody's fired up. Like, man, I can care about the NBA. I can care about the NBA because I think the Lakers have a legit shot. 99% of Laker fans are fired up because they know LeBron gives them hope this year, and then somebody else is coming next year or maybe mid-year in a trade.
20 seconds left. I find the most fascinating thing, Lonzo. When Lonzo's healthy, Rondo starts, right? Rondo's better than Lonzo.
It was strange that Luke spent the very first press conference saying Rondo's our starter. Lonzo Ball is going to have to win the job. He has never had to win a job.
Thank you.
And Rondo is not giving it up, and he has a lot of respect in the league.
That's going to be really
fascinating.
Doug Gottlieb, he is too. Fox Sports Radio after us. Coming up next, our herd hierarchy and a team, my new favorite team in the NFL next.